Good morning. It's kind of incredible what you can do now with just naked Gutenberg and a good block theme. If you look on your screens here, on the left is the website that I've just built in 30 minutes replicating this Austin Kleon blog over on the right. And it features some really cool stuff, like we have this sticky navigation along the top. We have a query loop block populating this middle column. If I squeeze it, you'll see how the first column is now the middle column. This is using Flexbox. This is all built into naked Gutenberg. And also you can see we've got custom fonts. So we've got exactly the same fonts that we've got on the Austin Kleon website. So I'm going to show you how you can find out what other fonts websites are using and then add those fonts into your own sites as well. So this went really, really well. I'm going to show you from start to finish. I'm going to start with a blank WordPress website. This is what I finished up with. All the links to the important stuff are in the chapter markers below. There is also a link to a brand new block theme and site editing course that I'm running. The April course is just sold out, but there are some spaces for the May course. Hope you enjoy it. Let's roll the intro music and start the clock.
Rapid website recreation, rapid website recreation, rapid websites reconstructed, what's a cause for celebration? Rapid website recreation, rapid website recreation, rapid websites reconstructed, what's a cause for celebration?
So over on the left is my website. Over here, this is just running a blank version of WordPress, freshly installed. Over on the right, we've got the Austin Kleon website that I'm going to try and replicate. It features quite a few interesting things like this sticky navigation. It's got this custom three column layout as well, and it's got these posts. The full post is showing in the middle column here, and you'll also see when I resize this how the middle column actually flips to the top. So I'm going to have to sort that out as well using the Gutenberg Flexbox control. I'm going to be using the columns block, so I should be able to do that hopefully. So let's crack on. So I'm going to go into my dashboard, and the first thing I want to do is just create the structure. So I'm just going to go off and create these pages along the top here by going pages, add new, and I'm just going to create these as blank pages just so I've got them as placeholders. And I'm just going to grab some of these images here because I'm going to need some of these. So now we're going to start to build out the site, and I'm going to start from the top and work my way all the way down here. And I'm going to start with this top section up here. And what I want to do there is basically get rid of what we've already got, I think. So let's go to editor. So dashboard and editor. This opens up the full site editor. I'm going to start with a new template, and I'm going to add a new front page template. That will just give me complete control over the front page. This will now be the front page of my site. And so I'm going to start by adding the row block here. And I'm then going to group that. So let's open up the list view and group that. And I'm going to group that for a number of reasons. Probably the most important is I can make it sticky. So within the group block, you can actually make that sticky. Let me show you this. There's a position sticky here. Okay, that means that will now stick when I add other elements into this page. And then I'm going to start to add out this layout. So I'm going to start by adding my site logo. And I'm going to upload that. It's a wee bit small, so I'm going to make it bigger. And you can make it bigger just by dragging it like this, so you can adjust it by size. And you'll see we've got a group block, and the first thing I want to do is create a background to that. So I select the group block using the list view over here. On the left, go to background, and I'm just going to set that as black. So now we've got the nice black background. Now we can put other things within our row block as well. And the first thing we need is navigation. So I search for the navigation block. That's going to add it in. Now at the moment you won't be able to see it, so just make sure you change the text to white. Now the other thing I want to do in my group block is I want to come here to layout and make sure it's not using inner blocks, uses content width. Otherwise it'll squish it to the content width of the site. So next up I just want to edit this menu. So I've just selected page list over on the left, come down here to edit and click on edit. And now I can actually start to edit this menu. So I can change the order. So the order I want is blog at the top. So you can just drag and drop these as you want, about and contact. So that's the right order. And actually the styles, I'm going to change the fonts in a minute, but the styles, they're not too far away actually, are they? It's a good idea to check things just to see how you're going. It's not too bad at all really. We've got a few issues in terms of the spacing, but we can sort that out. And the other thing, we've got this big space at the top here. So let's go and get rid of that big space at the top. Come to global styles, which is top right. Now the 2023 theme, which is the theme I'm using at the moment, actually adds some padding to the top. So if I just select 0 to the top here, it actually gets rid of all the padding from the top of the site. So when we go back now, we should have no padding along the top. You see that, how it's now sitting flush right to the top of the screen. So now we can carry on and add these social icons along here. So let's go to edit site, and let's look at the list view because that's the easiest way to see this stuff. Come down to row, and you'll see in the moment in the row we've got the site logo and the navigation block. So let's go insert after. This is often an easier way to do this, and then we just want to type / social icons, and it will find those social icons for us. It's actually put them in the wrong place, so let's just drag them down here. In fact, let's drag navigation up. That's probably easier. And there's my social icons. So now I just need to add those social icons. So I click on the plus sign and I'm going to add the social icons block. Then I'm going to search for Twitter. I'm just going to add a few. Now I'm just putting in dummy links today, but you would obviously put in your links to your proper social media. I'm going to style them in a minute. So I'm going to click back on social icons, make sure I've got the block settings open, come to this little icon here, and the icon background is going to be black and the icon color is going to be white. You can also change the size of these, and I need to change the spacing as well actually. So let's come back here and just change the block spacing. Now at the moment you just drag it up and then you drag it down. You can also click in here, these little icons, to change it by pixel as well. But I'm okay with that sort of spacing I've got there. But let's have a look. There we go. You see how it's all bunched to the left. So I need to space those out. So let's go back to edit site. And I'm going to jump back into this front page template. And all I need to do for this is go to the row block here. And you've got different options here. You see it's justified to the left. So I think probably space between items, and that will space it out nicely. Again, the row block uses Flexbox. That's how we get these nice controls in here. And let's check this out and see how this is looking. There we go. That's pretty good. I'm going to add a bit of padding to the left and the right probably, so they scrunch in a little bit. In fact, let's do that quickly. I come to here, you'll see I can add some padding, and I don't want to apply it to the top or the bottom, so I click on this little icon, and that just lets me apply it to the right and also to the left. So if we come back to the Austin Kleon site, you'll see we've got 3 columns, and they're not equal width. The middle column takes up more proportionally than the other columns, so that's the sort of layout I want. So I'm going to jump back into my template, click on the list view. It's going to make it easier for you, and then I'm going to go insert after. I use insert after an awful lot. It just makes it much easier rather than trying to click on the block inserter and drag stuff across. And then / columns. Again, / columns is the shortcut, and that will give us our 3 different layouts. That's the closest one. You can still change it if it's not quite right. That's the closest one. And now essentially what we've got to do is build out this layout here. And these are posts. So for this middle column, what I'm actually going to do is use the query loop block. That's going to automatically bring my posts in. So I select the middle column, either just clicking on it here or using the list view, and then click add block. And then I'm going to search for query loop. The query loop block is very powerful. It's this one here. And I would suggest you start blank. It's going to make your life a bit easier. You can amend all of these anyway, and probably this one here is the closest we want an image. And there we go, we've got an image, and we've got the date, the post title coming in. It's not quite right though, because in the Austin Kleon website over on the right, we've got the post title, and then we've got the post date, and then we've got the featured image, then we've got the content, whereas in ours it's not quite right. But we can jump in here and we can just move these around. So let's check the post title at the top, post date underneath it, and then under that we actually need some content. So I'm going to go insert after, and that's not quite in the right place, but we'll move it in a minute. And I'm going to go / post content, and that'll bring the content of that post in. There's not very much content in this post. And then over on the left, I'm just going to drag that down to the bottom, and there we go. We've got, that's looking pretty good actually. We've got our posts coming in automatically. Oh, the other thing you need to check at this point is just exactly how many posts you want to come in. So there's a couple of ways to do this. The easiest is just click on query loop over here on the left, and you want to click on these 3 little icons, sorry, this little icon in the top toolbar, and this will let you say how many posts you want per page. I'm going 30 because if you look at the actual Austin site, he's got loads of posts on this. It will paginate at the bottom of this as well. You'll see you've got a little pagination block. So at the bottom, when your posts run out, you've got this little pagination block, which you can style. So if I click on this, I'm just going to justify that center, and there we go down there. And again, I could put that in a row block, and I could style it and all sorts of other stuff as well. But for today, I'm absolutely fine with that. So let's have a look. There we go. And can you see how my top bar is now sticky, which is very cool. And there's my middle column. Right, the next thing we need to do is just these two side columns, which actually are pretty straightforward. I think this is just going to be a text block, an image block, a text block, an image block, a text block, and a few image blocks. So let's do that quickly. For speed, I'm going to grab this text here and let's add it in, just that content. And then after this, I'm going to add, let's make this bigger. I'm going to add an image block. I'm going to have to add some padding to this in a few minutes because it's not quite right. I think it was that one. I can always change it if it's not. Yes, it was that one. It's a wee bit big, so I'm just going to make it a little bit smaller. And you'll see to get the 10th anniversary, yep. Gift edition. So you can also do what's called a soft return in here if you want to control the lines. You just hold shift and then hit return. And that means it won't create a new block when you're adding new text. And then we want listen to the audiobook trilogy. So let's save that and go and actually, no, there is one more thing I want to do. So in the columns block here, this left-hand column, I just want to add a little bit of padding. So select the columns block over on the left. Make sure you select the right column. You see we've got left column, middle column, right column. Select the left column, click on that little icon, and then you can come down here to padding, and you can add some padding to it, to the top, to the bottom, to the left and the right. For speed, I'm just going to add padding to all those things here. Yeah, that's pretty good. I shouldn't have centered them. shouldn't have centered those images. They don't need to be centered. And this text is a bit wrong as well. It's too big. So let's go and fix that up. That's probably decent enough. Right, now we just need to do this right-hand column, which is pretty straightforward. And all we've got is a paragraph block, Austin's face, some text, and some social icons block. And then a subscribe to my newsletter. I'm not going to probably add this. This is a Substack thing. But I will add the other stuff. Again, if you're using MailChimp, you could use the MailChimp block for this. There is a free MailChimp block. So I'm going to add the paragraph block and about the author. Now, it won't look aligned at the moment because I've added some padding over on the left. I might get rid of the top padding actually. But let's go and add about the author. So we just want about the author. Let's make that text small. And then we just want to add an image block in here. Hopefully I've got Austin's picture. There he is. And again, you would want to add the alt text. I'm not adding alt text at the moment. I would go back and do that. In fact, I've added two about the authors for some reason. Let's get rid of that one. Okay. And all we need underneath this one here is this bit of text, which links off to another page. I'm probably going to try and do another page as well. So select the image block and I'm going to hit return. And there we go. There's that bit of text. And then after that bit of text, we've just got these social icons, and we're going to use the social icons block for that one. So hit return, /social icons. And then I just need to add the icons. So what's he got? Let's have a quick look. He's got Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I'll add those. Let's make this a bit bigger. And we want to change the style and the spacing. So use the list view here just to make sure you select the social icons block itself. And then come over here to this little design icon, and we want to change the icon color, background color to black, the icon color to white. The key really with these is to make sure you select the social icons block over here. That means the styles will apply, the styles will show. And then the block spacing again, just move it up and down, and you can adjust the size, or you can jump in here and change the pixels more precisely. I want these pretty tight. Let's go 10 pixels. So let's save that. Go and have a look at the website. Hopefully it's looking fairly close to the real website. Yeah, that's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. Let's have a look at the original website, my website. Now you'll see my sticky nav is working. My posts are now automatically coming into this section here. So if I created a new post, that would be the first post on the page. I'm really happy with that. We need to sort the fonts out. The fonts are wrong. So let's go and see what fonts this website's using. And there's a great add-on to Chrome you can get called What Font. It's this one here, and it's just an extension, and you click on it in the browser and it'll actually tell you what fonts they're using. So they're using Oswald for the headings, and it looks like they're using Laura. You see, you can just hover over the font and it tells you the font that site is using. It's a really cool little add-on. See, it's here, it's just this little icon here. It's called What Font. So we want to add Laura, and we want to add Oswald. So we're going to use a plugin called the Create Block Theme plugin, which is my favorite plugin for adding fonts now to a block theme for sure. It's actually built by WordPress as well. And then we go to Appearance and then Manage Theme Fonts. And you can add a Google font or a local font. So I want a Google font because both those are Google fonts. So what did I say? Oswald. And I'm going to select all fonts, all font weights and variants as well. And then I add it to my theme. Once you add it to your theme, it'll be available in global styles, which I'm going to show you in a second. And then I want Laura. And again, I'm going to add all variants of that. You could select individual ones if you wanted to, but I want all of them. And now I just need to add it to my site. So I'm going to go back to editor, to the site editor, click back into the template that I'm editing. And this is the key bit here. This is the secret sauce. We want to go to styles, click on styles, and then to typography. And here we can actually change the font for our site. So what did I say? I think text is going to be Laura. Laura, there you go, that's changing. And headings, we want to be Oswald, I think I said. I hope I said it that way around. Have I got it the wrong way around? That's Oswald. Yep, that's perfect. There we go. And actually the sizes aren't too far away. You can actually change the size as well here. So I think the text might want to come up a little bit. And there we go. There's our website. And I think that looks, it's hard to see both together because they're flexing. Actually, we've got one really important thing we need to fix as well, which is this. So on a mobile, you see how my sidebar here, this column here, the first column, it becomes the first column on the page, whereas on the Austin Kleon website, it's the middle column that becomes the first column. So I'm going to fix that out. I'm going to fix that, and then we should have pretty much a working site, a working blog site. And I'm going to actually try and use ChatGPT, some AI magic, to see if I can create this effect of the middle column is actually the first column on the page, because the Gutenberg columns block, which is the block I'm using, actually uses Flexbox. And I think I should be able to get some CSS to be able to fix that up. What I did, I went to ChatGPT and I asked it, I said, I have a 3-column layout built with WordPress Gutenberg. Write me the CSS code so that the middle column is the first column when viewed on a mobile phone. And lo and behold, it did it. You can see down here, here's the actual CSS that it's generated for me. So all I need to do now is add a class name of .column-2 into the column itself, and then add this CSS, and hopefully, fingers crossed, that should work. So I'm going to use this simple CSS plugin here just to put my CSS code into, just so there's a nice, easy place where I can actually access it. So I'm going to activate this, then go to Add CSS. Then I'm just going to take the CSS that ChatGPT gave me. That's the class name I actually want. So you can hopefully work out what this is doing. This is just going to say, right, make this column here, whichever column I give this class name to, the middle column. This is a Flexbox control here. So let's update that. Then I'm going to go back to my editor, and hopefully when I add that class name to my middle column, so let's click on the list view just to select the middle column here. Select the middle column, come over here to the right, and then click on Advanced, and then come down here to Additional CSS. Just pop that class name in here without the dot. We just need it like that. And let's go and check it out and see if that's actually done the magic for us. So now when we resize this, can you see how the middle column is now the first column on the page? So if you ever need control over your columns blocks with Gutenberg, use ChatGPT to do its wizardry. Right, so here's my site at the moment, looking very, very close to the original. I think it looks really great. I've changed all the fonts. I've actually gone in and changed the fonts up here as well, so they're more accurately reflecting on the actual website. And I've also changed the fonts up here in the navigation menu. Looks really cool. We've got this sticky nav. However, we have one big issue, which is the other pages templates are still got the old page templates. So we need to go and fix those up. So what we need to do, because this is currently how you have to use the sticky nav, we actually have to come into the template that we've built. And I'm just going to copy that block there. Then I'm going to go back to my templates here and go into the page template, which is this template here. Then I'm going to get rid of this header template in a minute, but to start with, I'm going to go Insert After. Then I'm just going to paste my existing group block in there, get rid of the old header template. I don't want any featured image on this page, so I'm going to get rid of that. I don't need any comments as well. I'm not eliciting comments. on this page. That's pretty much all I want. And let's save that and go and have a look now. So now hopefully when I go and view the site, click on books, we've now got our blank nice page. If I edit that page and pop some content in there, let's just grab some lorem ipsum. Let's just check this looks all right. I'm just going to put some stuff in here and update it. Let's just make sure that's working. Because I built the page template, it should bring the post content into that page. There's books, and there we go. It looks fantastic, and actually I really like that. So there we go. There's my finished website. The front page is done. The internal pages are done. Obviously they need some content, but in terms of the design and the layout, I'm very, very happy. If I flex the page, we'll see how the middle column now approaches, is the first column to show on the page as well. So there we go. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and found it useful, and hopefully there was loads of learning in there for you, if you can hit that like button down below now, it'd be a massive help, because it really does help spread the word of the video, helps more people see it. So thank you very, very much if you can. Also, every time you do hit that like button, our cats get a little treat. If you want to see more videos just like this, then hit that subscribe button and you'll be notified when I release a new one. Keep well, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.